make a big noise. Gonna climb so high, now we're rising up. Are you ready now? Turn it up. Are you ready for this?
Hello. This is Christopher DJ Venom Turner, aka the King of Bling, here with the King of Bling Leadership Lounge and Kingdom of Blingdom with my special guest, Patricia Shevlin. And of course, we always have our elite Marissa Clarke, who is the leader of Elite Blingers. Of course, we share this to my team as well as her team, right? Got to pay it forward. So we are doing that today. And today we have this awesome, amazing guest, Patricia Shevlin, here with us. And Shevlin, I'm sorry. I always added G on there, and Sarah always corrects me from it. But for some reason, I just do that. I don't know if it's the California thing or what. But anyway, we're going to start off with a prayer, Patricia. And then once we do that prayer, we're going to go ahead and get started in this, okay? All right, so dear Lord, I just come to you, Lord, and I just want to thank you for all of the opportunities and blessings that you give us in this $5 industry, Lord. Having somebody amazing like Patricia Shevlin coming to talk to us is just another way that you're showing us that you're giving us these gifts, these favors that we have here, Lord. And let us speak all of these wonderful nuggets out there for everybody to take heed and to implement, Lord, and give us that path. Show us the direction that we need to travel to get to those rewards that you're putting there for us so desperately that we seek, Lord. We are just amazed by all the things that you do, Lord, and we ask you to continue to put your blanket of health over all of us, Lord, and comfort us in this time that a lot of us are struggling mentally, physically, and we just ask that you help us share this positive movement and this purpose to everybody out there, and just be contagious with that positive energy. It's hashtag paparazzi positive. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, so I have a couple that are entering into the Zoom conference. Let me go ahead and admit them in there. So greetings and welcome, Miss Patricia. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm just, I'm actually kind of shell-shocked here. I'm like, you know, we talked the other day and I was like all nervous and excited about that. But now to have you here is making me just kind of like, okay, this is really happening.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here.
Well,
and I'm so happy to see your face.
Oh, I know, right? It's been like, we've been talking to each other for a couple of years now. So this is awesome. And let me tell you guys, Patricia is so busy in her business. It's not like we get to have like regular conversations. We have to do the catch me live kind of thing, right?
But yeah, I have to schedule everything.
Yeah, so you are Life of the Party Black Diamond, Crown Club 25. Yes. You are a jet setter in the company. You are just amazing, and you run a sunshine squad of thousands of people, and those aren't even all your people, right?
Correct.
You offer this training to pretty much just everybody, those that are willing to listen, right? Kind of like myself.
Yes, exactly.
So, boy, I do this off the cuff. So I know that you were originally a banker. You had worked at Wells Fargo. I used to work at Union Safe, which was bought out by Wells Fargo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that we have that little history there. But why don't you go ahead and just kind of give us a little brief synopsis of your story for those that don't know.
Sure. So again, my name's Patricia Shevlin. I joined Paparazzi March 24th, 2017. I actually came across it March 23rd, 2017. Okay. And I came across it in the evening in my news feed. I had never done direct sales before. Actually, 2 weeks prior to finding Paparazzi, I decided to sign up for this other direct sales company because one of my colleagues at Wells Fargo told me she was making like $800 a week. And I was like, oh, well, if you could do that, I could definitely do that, because we were top in sales together. And, you know, they paint the picture of working from home. I've always wanted to work from home ever since. You remember those scams that you used to pay for to get a program to figure out how to work from home? I used to do that when I was 16, like 14, 15, and 16, when I had my own job and my own money. And I got my very first computer. I would literally Google work from home jobs, mostly because I was lazy at the time. That's why I was looking. I always had to get refunds, because I got scammed. And I learned very quickly that there wasn't a reputable way to work from home at that time. And so
which is still common for most, right?
It sure is. You get paid, like there's all sorts of things out there, like get paid to take surveys and all that stuff. But really,
should we just say sucker?
Me too. Me too. And that was when I was 16. That wasn't even as an adult. So this other direct sales company I signed up for, it was because she said she was making $800 a week. Well, I needed that. My husband was out of the military. He was home with Addison, my daughter, I only had one daughter at the time, and she was 4. So it made sense. I was like, I'll try it. But then I remember like the first week into it, after I got my starter kit, and you don't sell the things that were in your starter kit for that company. You use them as like testers. So when I went and did my first one-on-one interaction, that's what I'll call it, I worked all day long at Wells Fargo. Oh, yay, Heather, that's so exciting. This I'm talking about a different direct sales company that I found 2 weeks before Paparazzi. So after working all day at Wells Fargo, I went to my coworker's house, did, the little tester thing, and she didn't buy a thing. So not only was I not working from home, I actually spent extra time outside of the house to make $0. And I'm like an instant gratification, impulsive person. I had just spent $600 worth of my money on inventory, because that's what they do. They made you like sit down with your husband, watch this video, and then invest. And I invested $600, which was their lower level investment. And before my inventory even came from that company, I literally had just a little over $100 in my bank account left. And I came home from work one day, and I was on Facebook, and I just so happened to see Courtney, who's now my upline. And she had been in my newsfeed for years, doing her makeup, doing other things. But this time when I saw her, she had a pegboard behind her. And I was like, what is this girl doing? So I clicked on it. And when I clicked on the video, it was literally sold. And I was like, what is this gold mine? So I'm
Right.
Googling, like, what is paparazzi accessories? I wanted to know, what is this $5 magic that I'm looking at right now? And before she was even done, I sent her a message on Facebook, like, I don't know what you're doing, sign me up. And she was like, oh, well, this is X, Y, and Z. I said, yeah, that sounds great. Sign me up. I asked 3 times. I said, sign me up. I never touched the jewelry. I didn't know what I said, I'll figure all that out later. She went back on live to sell. And I actually shared her video because it was I didn't know anybody at that time. Like my first, I signed up March 24th. When I started to go live, it was April. My first month, I recruited 18 people because no one I knew was selling it. A, and B, nobody was selling it on Facebook besides like Courtney. That's the only person I knew at the time. So nowadays, my average is about 1 to 3 recruits a month because everybody sells something on Facebook. So the algorithm, works a little bit against you nowadays, but back then it did not. And so I remember she sent me all the information. She sent me voice messages, and I was like, it was like 11:30 at night at this time. And because I was a salaried manager, I was the first one at the branch and the last one to leave the branch. So I was running on like no sleep. And when I laid in bed, I laid next to my husband, and I was like, I literally found a gold mine. I cannot sleep. Like, I'm too excited. The next morning, I walked into work and I told everybody at my job, I found a company. Everything is $5. This girl at the time was charging $3 flat rate shipping. So I was like, it's $5 jewelry. All the necklaces come with earrings. It's lead and nickel free. I've never even tried it, but I'm allergic to lead and nickel, so I can't wait to try it. And I told them before I even hit the join button, I said, in 1 year, I'm not going to be here anymore. And 2 hours later, I went out into my car and I signed up and I joined Paparazzi. And 6 months later, I quit my job at Wells Fargo because of my husband, actually. And I've been working from home ever since.
And just in that little story there, you touched on so many things that I want to talk about. First off, I want to tell you that I too had done. I don't even want to say necessarily that it was laziness, but it might have been. I have that in me just like everybody does. But mine was, I didn't want to have somebody tell me when I had to come in and out of work. I wanted to be able to just do my work late at night if I wanted to, and be able to party all day long with my friends, or go to San Francisco or something. I didn't want to have to, hey, sorry, I'm sick, I didn't want to do that, and so I always was looking for it. So I got into so many different direct sales companies. Me and my wife both did, who is in, I believe she's in here. No, actually she's not. She's listening from the other room. But we had gotten into so many direct sales companies, and they're exactly the reason why so many people are skeptic. I didn't get any kind of training. I didn't get any kind of knowledge, and I put more money into it than I ever made back. And so when Paparazzi came to us, I was like, I'm not having it. Like, nope, don't even bring me that. Don't talk to me about it. But all the truths came out, you know what I mean? And we signed up. So when you're talking about, you're talking about algorithms now. Now you're the queen of algorithms here. Everybody should know your face from watching the algorithms video. But because you're such a great person on that, and you've put out such a great video, we're not going to talk about that today. Okay. But you did mention there that you were seeing this lady sell them back to back to back to back. And you had given some awesome, amazing tips this morning in your talk that maybe you might share with some of these guys, and they can hear it directly from you rather, because I haven't got to tell them yet. But being able to hear it directly from you may stimulate that energy. And a lot of them right now are having that struggle where they're not getting those sales in like that to be able to show that example. So please share.
So what I shared this morning with my team was how when you think about why you joined. So for example, when I joined Courtney, yes, she had a pegboard behind her, but she wasn't ordering 50 of one piece at that time. You know what I'm saying? She was ordering maybe 1 or 2 of a piece. So every single piece she was showing, she was selling out of. Okay. So what I talked about with my team today, and we get a lot of hostess rewards. And if you just joined, you are in a great predicament right now, because everything in your starter kit is exclusive to your starter kit. So what that means is I've never, besides I think there's 5 blockbuster items in there, I've never been able to order the pieces that are in your starter kit in those colors. Okay. That's the best part about this company. And so when you are going live, especially right now, October tends to be a higher recruiting month based off my previous history. I've been in almost 5 years now. So October tends to be the month where I get the most recruits. And something I like to do in October every year is I focus on one and dones. Because, when you're showing a piece of jewelry, it's a little bit more related. Now, when you sign up, you're probably not going to go straight into ordering 50 of a pair of earrings, but I order 50 of a pair of earrings. So that ordering status is not as relatable. But if I'm showing one piece at a time and I'm selling out of almost every single one piece that I'm showing, that's relatable. And that most likely is what got you here. You saw my daughter is in 3rd grade. She learned how to count by 5s in kindergarten. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. We can count. Okay. Now, another thing, which actually I didn't share with my team this morning, but another thing I like. Yes, a special nugget. I like to tell people is, we do a lot of giveaways, right? Share contests. Sometimes I see my team members doing like Family Feud or trivia, and all of those games have, besides the share contest, have nothing to do with the actual company itself. It's just creating engagement. So another thing I like to do when I do my one and done shows is I tell my viewers, and I've done this since I've started, okay, this used to really get me a lot of people paying attention. I used to tell
Paper and pen,
people,
guys, write this down.
listen, I used to tell people, pay attention to how many times people comment the number. Whoever gets the closest to the amount of jewelry I sold wins X amount of pieces. Because we can clearly see in the comments when somebody goes to buy something, oh, that person got it. So then I would, one and dones, this is why it's much easier. I would have a sheet of paper next to me and I would just tally mark every piece that I sold, and then I would ask my audience at the end, okay, how many pieces did I sell tonight? It forces them to pay attention. It forces them to do the math by 5. It gives them a chance. Now, if you have multiple people with the correct answer, then you could give them all something. You could make it an entry type thing. I don't really care how you do that part, but make them pay attention to how much money you're literally making right in front of their eyes. And guess what? You didn't need a team to make that money, but now you've just enticed them to join your team so they can make that money also.
That is an awesome tip.
And actually, I plan to do that tonight when I'm live. So when I go live here shortly, I'm doing a one and done show, and the giveaway is pay attention to how many pieces I sell.
I love it. I love it. Now, real quick, I just want to introduce my elite leader, my direct upline, Marissa Clarke. You may have seen her in the elite chats.
Yes, I do know her name. Hi, Marissa.
Hello, Patricia. Thank you so much for coming in with us. We are so grateful. You are a wealth of knowledge. We soak you up on YouTube often. And we're just so thankful to have you in here giving us some nuggets, some information, and we are just eternally grateful for you.
You have like such a great smile. I only
Right?
see your profile picture in the elite group, so it's so happy. I'm so happy to finally meet you. Nice to meet you.
And then my wife is in here also, Sarah Marquez. She is wearing the colorful rainbow hair, green. Right now it's green, but right now, in the picture it's green, but right now literally it's rainbow. It's so you would love it with your sunshine squad.
Yes, we talked about that too. Remember when last time we had a phone call about the rainbow hair and cheetah print hair?
Yes, see, that's what amazes me about you. You have so many different teammates and so many different people, but yet you connect with me like we've known each other since high school. Like, I love the fact that you put that extra attention in and you remember. I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you. I hope when you get my age, you can still do that, because I tell you what, I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Oh, wait, I didn't eat breakfast, so that's why.
A trick for me that helps me genuinely remember people is I find something that I genuinely like about that person. So I'm very well known for recalling. Now, in sales, you're taught to recall conversations. When I worked at the bank, that was very important. So, but I've always been good at remembering people because when I care. So if I genuinely connect on something, like I've always connected with you, Chris. I know your wife by her green hair, okay, which I haven't seen her rainbow hair yet. So, and I haven't even met you in real life. So what I do is, for me and for your viewers or for your teams, find something that you can genuinely compliment. Like, Chris is always very helpful. Okay. So when we spoke on the phone, we connected about Elevation Church. We connected about hair. We connected about growing with the company. He acts like an elite before he's elite. Like, I can give you all of that information, because I care. And so, I'm not one to have superficial conversations. And when you don't have superficial conversations, when you remember people, you automatically, you build like an army, a literal army of hope. That's what helps me,
Agreed.
is I find something to connect on that's genuine. Otherwise I won't remember the person at all.
Right, right. And those are helpful tips. And that's what I like. You are so eloquent with like those tips, and you live them. You live those tips that you give us. You know, like right now you're doing your creative writing, which I would love to have gotten involved in, but I just got so much going on, girl, that like writing a story is just not I can't do that right now. But I mean, trust me, I would love to do that at some point when I can free up, you know. But also you're when you train people, you don't just train them on the business, you train them on personal relationships, you know, on etiquette, on your values, you know, and the things that hold true to you. So out of all the time that you've been training, what would you say is your favorite thing to train on? Not necessarily what people ask you to train on, but what's your favorite thing to talk about?
My favorite thing to talk about, I would have to say training on being authentic, because especially in the MLM direct sales world, you know, as a jet setter, if you look up the income disclosure link, because that's what lots of people lead with, they look at what those numbers say and they say, well, she only does it because she makes money off her team. She only does it because X, Y, and Z. If that was the case, why would I be so raw and authentic? Why would I, if that really was the case, why would I spend so much time teaching my team how to be their true selves? So paparazzi gave me a vehicle to get in front of people where it wasn't weird, but I'm mostly a life coach is what I would actually call myself. My job description, the reason I got where I am is because I coach people's lifestyles and I give my team valuable information that helps their personal relationships. I've had people who have either gotten the strength to leave their significant other or have gotten the strength to stop arguing with their significant other. I have helped family team members build better relationships with their children. I've had team members, because I even train on effective communication. I feel like I guess that would be my favorite, because effective communication is authenticity. And the way I feel like I have, you know, semi-decent communication skills, because when you're honest and loving, you can be an effective communicator. And when you're an effective communicator, you can teach people how to, most of our world's problems are because people don't know how to open their mouth the correct way.
Right.
Or they just don't open their mouth to the right people. And
Or
so
they don't open their mouth.
Right. Or they'll tell everybody else except for who the problem is with. So I really focus on training the mind, because, you know, people will sign up for paparazzi. I saw somebody, I think her name was Heather, that just got her starter kit today. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are what makes anything around you work. So you've chosen one of the best vehicles out there. I tell my team all the time, it's not the jewelry that ain't working for you. It's this that isn't working for you. So if we can control your emotions and if we can get your mind right, then anything you touch will turn to gold. It's inevitable.
Amen.
So that's my favorite thing is training authenticity by controlling the emotions in the mind.
Wow, I love it. I love it. And that's so you. I mean, it really,
and you're
that,
in my
that
team
does.
group, so you can vouch, Chris.
100%, 100%. You know, and I know you only have a few more minutes. You said you only had about a half an hour with us today, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I
But I
still
do
have
want to
7
ask
minutes
you.
left, so you're good.
Yes, yes. So I do want to ask you though, if you knew now, this is what I'd love to ask everybody that comes on. So if you knew when you started paparazzi, if you knew all the things that you know now, what would you have done differently from the get?
Well, in the beginning, I would have trained the way I train right now. I grew a team very quickly, and when I joined, it was about money because that's what I needed. I wasn't an effective leader. I didn't know how to be. I put my sales before my team for a long time in my business until someone on my team outranked me, and it kind of kicked me right off my pedestal. Like, no one knows you at Walmart. That's where I got that phrase from. Okay, like,
Right.
sit your behind down. No one freaking knows you like that. Like, in paparazzi world, I may be somebody, but when I go to my local grocery store, ain't nobody stopping to take pictures with me. Okay. And
Right.
so one thing I would tell you right now is don't put yourself on a pedestal, because the higher that pedestal is, the farther the fall. So the more integrity and honesty, and the more you put people's hearts before the money in the beginning, the better the outcome will be.
True that. True that. And right now is opportunity everywhere, right? October is the month for opportunity. And you even said it, that October is the month of growth. Like, this is statistically the month to get those opportunities out there. So all of these tips that you're talking about, I'm hoping everybody is taking down, because we want to see that grow, right? And so Ryan is a big help to you, right? And I
Yes,
know
Ryan
that,
does my shipping.
right. And with this business, that having that extra support, I mean, it would probably drive you mad without him. But a lot of these people don't have that support with their spouses. A lot of the spouses don't see the money coming in. A lot of the spouses don't see this being what it can be, because maybe their not the spouse's mindset, but maybe that consultant's mindset isn't right to make that money yet to show him. What would you advise consultants like that deal with that?
I'm so glad you asked, because this
Thank you.
goes back to effective communication. So Ryan, my husband, he would help me bag during live shows a little bit. And then one day he was holding my phone. And when people pay invoices, how it just pops up at the top. So he's like, what is all this? And I was like, those are people paying, just so you know. But at the same time, anytime he had input about my business, that's exactly what it was. What are you talking about? This is mine. Okay, no, we can't do it that way. No, we can't ship it that way. So a lot of times what I find in my experience is when you don't have the buy-in from the other half, and maybe you clearly are making money and all they see is boxes coming in. They're like, well, when do you get to keep your profit? Well, first of all, Google, how long does a business owner be in business before they start keeping profit? Because ours is much shorter than that. But second of all, ask yourself, how often are you asking for your significant other's input? Because one thing that I know my husband and a lot of men really like is they like to be
The
needed.
problem solver.
Yes, they are our heroes. Okay. So if maybe you feel like you have it all figured out in your business, the minute I told him, hey, I want you to be more active in my business, and he said, hey, you're not my boss, so start taking my input and maybe I will be. That's effective communication, because you have to be able to receive hearing that. Okay. If I could have gotten really pissed off, excuse my language, I could have gotten really pissed off when he told me I was bossy. Instead, I looked at his perspective and I had to see it from his point of view. And anytime he tried to chime in when I didn't ask, when people try to give you advice, but you didn't ask for it, or like you color your hair a certain color, and then that person's like, oh, why'd you color your hair like that? Oh, I didn't ask you. Okay. Like that's pretty much the concept.
Because I had a
here.
runny nose.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry.
exactly. See, you were so funny. So the way the way I was able to get a better working relationship with my husband is I started to ask him to help me problem solve in my business. When he had ideas, I didn't just say, no, that's not going to work. No, we're not doing it that way. Or you know, some people are in situations where they're not even getting those ideas, and their significant other is just like, can you stop? Like, I don't understand why you're on your phone all the time. I don't understand why you're ordering so much jewelry. So
And
what that is,
and they
and
want to
that's
be
the
more than just the garbage guy taking out your boxes.
And believe me, my husband, like, he stepped on one too many earrings. Okay. So they don't. And then also think about what part of the business are you sharing with your spouse? Because if all I did every day was complain to him about what I'm not getting as your protector, as your hero, as your problem solver, they're going to have your back and be like, then why are you doing this? Why are you so sad? Why this? So it really comes down to effective communication, learning how to be honest, asking for help, being able to receive that help, and implementing, so that, and then getting your family's buy-in. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yes.
your spouse doesn't understand why you're on the phone all the time and you're telling them, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, well, ask them, okay, if I am on my phone for this many hours a day, then I'm going to spend this much time with you. It all comes down to communication. Lack of communication is why people don't have the buy-in from their family.
Definitely. Man, thank you so much. Do you have time for Marissa to close you
Yes.
out? Go
Yes,
ahead.
I do.
Okay, I just have a real quick question. What would you tell someone in little words to get out of their own way of their success? What's the best tip that you would give them to get out of their own way?
What I would say, well, first of all, what you're not doing or what you won't do is why you don't have what you want to have. What I mean by that is, here I am 5 years into the business. I'm only just now tapping into my true potential, because we know how much we secretly, okay, this is your conscience. You know secretly what kind of responsibility comes with that kind of sacrifice, comes from choices like that. Like, do you desire, like, I love to sleep, but I desired to be a better person. And by doing that, I started to wake up earlier every day. So what do you desire more?
What are
Okay,
you
you
willing to sacrifice?
desire, yes, what, and you don't have to sacrifice forever. Okay, you're going to sacrifice at different phases in your life, different kinds of sacrifices.
Amen.
But what do you desire more? And that is often comes down to your mindset. Okay, the reason you stand in your own way is because there is something someone is doing you're not willing to do yet. And I'm not saying you should just go ahead and do it. That is between you, yourself, and you. Okay, that's in your mind. Just know, when you do start to make those changes, when you do start to put little habits into play that you're not currently doing, no one else can motivate you to do that. Okay, like, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. That horse has to choose to stick its tongue into the water and bring it back into their mouth, and until it's thirsty enough, the tongue won't come out. So when I was tired of getting into a cycle, the same cycle with my business, I decided to look at what I wasn't willing to do, and I started to every day just get a little bit better at it. And you have to be your own source for that. So most of the time when you're standing in your own way, it's because you're not, in your mind, you're not fully ready for your true potential, because you know if you did do it, X, Y, and Z would come. If you did wake up earlier, what could you get accomplished? If you
Amen.
did stay up a little later, what could you get accomplished? If you turned off Netflix and decided to go live instead, what would you get accomplished? So that all comes with a different level of responsibility. And what I find is when we're standing in our own way, that response, we're just not ready to accept that responsibility yet. That's what it was for me anyway.
You know, and I feel that too, like you had said from the beginning, like, you know, when I asked you what would you have done differently, you would train like you did now. But it took you several years of experience and maturity and growing and learning and seeing to
And
get
failing.
to that point. So you probably
Mhm.
could never have went back and done that. But, you
Nope.
know, that's the same thing that I tell them is you have to mature in your seasons to invest in those rewards.
Mhm.
Patricia, I know it's time. I know you've got to go, and I regret that, but I
I'm
appreciate
so
all that you've done
thankful.
for us so much, and I would love to have you here anytime you want to. And you know, you had asked me to come to Sunshine Squad, so I'll be doing that too.
Yes, I
It's
want
not
your
over yet,
taco. I
baby.
want your taco story in Sunshine Squad. So reach out. And I know Allie is on here. So that would be awesome, like a 10-minute training in there. And I'm so thankful to spend this time with you guys. If you guys ever need something, shoot me a message on Facebook, or you can even email my assistant. I'm happy to answer questions if I see the message. If you
And
don't get
just so
lost.
you know, I know that your messenger is buried a lot.
Right.
But just so
Mhm.
you know, every once in a while, if you happen to check it, because I do still send you comments, even though I know you're not going to read them. One of these
Yeah.
days, you'll go
Well,
back and see them and go be like, "Oh my gosh, what did he tell
so
me?" What?
what's funny is I really only scroll amongst the first like 10 messages.
Who don't?
So if you need, like, if you have a question and let's say I'm live selling jewelry, feel free to ask your question in the comments. I am not the type of consultant to be like, oh my God, I'm selling right now. How dare you tell people you're a consultant? Not on my
That's how
lives.
we met.
Exactly. On my live, sharing is caring. And because I am a true open book and I don't lead with money in my heart first, I lead with your heart in my heart first. So if you see me and I'm live, that's the best way to get me to answer a question if you have it, or I can refer you somewhere. So do not hold back. Okay. Anytime you see me live, ask. It's okay.
Thank you so much again. Would you mind ending us in a prayer? You could speak for us.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
please pray over us.
God, thank you so much for these amazing hearts that you've placed in front of me tonight. I'm so thankful for Chris and Marissa for allowing me to speak to their team. I lift their team's success up to you. I lift their hearts up to you. And I ask that you help them have exactly every single desire of their heart that they want. And if they do not have their desires that they are striving for yet, I ask that you show them exactly the path that they need to take to be able to achieve those desires and to clearly see what changes need to be made in their life and their business to really shatter those glass ceilings and not let anything stop them. I'm thankful, God, that you've given us this company that allows us to come together where otherwise without this company, we may not have been able to do. I'm thankful so much for the people that you put in front of me tonight, God, and the people that you sent to me to get to know a little better. And I'm just so thankful, God, that you are a giving and graceful God, and you hear what they need before they even ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. And that is what every person in this chat is about to receive. And I claim that in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you so much, Patty. You are the
I
best.
love you guys. Thank you.
I'm going to send you a link to this
Amen.
so you can take a look at the editing and all that.
Awesome. Thank you. Mwah. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And Allie, you're welcome to stay if you'd like to. We're going to have
Thank
a
you.
little like feedback discussion, but you're welcome to stay if you'd like to. I just figured I'd tell you. So guys, oh, you're muted still. Let me see. Yeah, for some reason it's muted. Why isn't it not letting you? Does that work?
It does. It gave me like an option to unmute or stay
Oh, okay.
muted.
I think there was some background noise earlier and I had to mute it for a minute. And so maybe it blocked
Oh,
you.
okay. My husband is active duty, so he's actually been home this entire time, but he has duty tomorrow. So I'm going to spend this time with him.
I imagine you should. Well, thank you so much. You've been a great friend too. And I'm sure we'll keep talking.
Yes, of course. And if you guys, if you want to message Patty, psblingassist@gmail.com, and that's how you can reach her. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank
right.
you. Enjoy your
Thank
time with
you.
your husband and tell him thank you for his service.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. My gosh, guys, was that amazing or was that amazing?
That was
I knew it
awesome.
would be. I knew it would be amazing.
I've got over a page of notes in that half an hour.
That's great. That's great. Hey, maybe you can synapse them and share them everywhere.
Hardly at all.
I know, you were yelling at the kid for me. Thank you.
So that was a great opportunity. Anybody have anything that they'd like to share as their big takeaways from it?
I just want to say that I'm really glad to see your face, Christopher.
You're silly. I'm not gonna lie though, this chair that I'm sitting in is so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh.
You need a chair. You need, okay. Can we just take a second to thank Chris for reaching out to these people? Every single one that he's brought in here, okay? He did the legwork and he brought them in here. And I'm so thankful that you do these Zooms, that you organize this for us. And we owe our businesses success truly to you helping us put in this training. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much, guys. I don't do it for that. I don't do it for the thank yous. It's great to hear. But I do it because, like I told you before, I really honestly feel that this is my purpose, is to help change lives. And I'm going to start right here with you all.
That's great. That's great. We are.
Well,
Patricia.
Well, Chris did a great, awesome job. Chris did a great, awesome job. You put all your effort into it all the way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know that I loved that you had Patricia speak on other things besides algorithms, because we can watch those videos over and over again. The information is there. The training is there. I know there's, like, besides the videos, there's posts that we've made from her. I've shared from her group too. And so I loved that you were able to ask her other questions to get, because you don't want to box her into this, come speak about algorithms. She speaks about it on YouTube. Watch it there.
Yeah, and I imagine when I brought it up, she probably immediately was like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And when I shut it down, did you see her eye kind of change? Like, oh, okay, this is different.
It's because she's so much more than algorithms. She can teach you that on those videos on YouTube, you guys. And so this information that she just gave you just showed another side of her leadership. And she's way more than just, teaching you how to work Facebook algorithms. So that was really cool to hear some of those questions and answers from her.
And I really like that tip for her one and dones. If you have, especially if you have a pegboard of jewelry behind you.
Funny, like, you guys.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It makes sense. And I want to tell you that I've had people watching my lives before that have said to me, like afterwards, like, girl, you just cleared over $200. They were paying attention to what I was selling. I wasn't even playing that game. So those people who truly are looking, because that person was looking to make extra money, right? And she was seeing that paparazzi on my live was doing that. So those people that are doing that, they're going to come out because you're going to play this game. And then there's people who just aren't brave enough, right? They're counting. They know what you're selling. They know that at 10 pieces you're doing a giveaway. So I think that was super smart, and it shows them exactly how easy it is to make. Like, a lot of people will say, oh, you don't truly make much money with $5. Like, how much could you really make off $5? But when they're counting it like that, like she did, simple, that's no brainer.
Amen. And you know, the nice thing about that is we've all got ones and dones, especially if you're a new consultant. Helen, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to answer your question on what my biggest takeaway was. And honestly, it was Marissa's question to her answer on how do you get out of your own way. And, you know, when she said that, you know, you getting in your own way means you're not ready to accept the responsibility of your true potential. That one was just like, wham, just hit me. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Marissa, for asking that.
You know, and what I love the most is how she broadcasted and shared with that effective communication. Effective communication is what we talk about all the time, right? With interaction and building relationships and getting to know each other, not only as teammates, but as your customers and as your friends. Because as those friends start to understand you and know you and see what you're doing, those friends are going to become teammates and business partners. So the effective communication went a long way with me. And I believe she's right. She is kind of a life coach. She talks about positive promotion and, you know, faith and the whole journey with that. So I think that that's just amazing that she brought that up, because true effective communication is key. And that's great that that's her favorite topic. So we are getting close to 15 minutes to the end of our live here. We are going to end promptly at the hour because I have some things to do, and I know Marissa does as well. So I would like to open it up to any questions. Does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask that we can answer? Go ahead, June.
Anyway, I don't have a question, but I just want to tell you, Jules and I went dual live today, and we had a blast.
That's awesome.
So there's
That's
a score.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you know, and whether or not you sold isn't even important if you had a blast, right? Because if you had a blast and you had fun, then it makes it easier to do again and again, and you will get more and more sales.
I had a ball. That's it.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you tried it. How did it work for you? Did you have any problems?
Nope, not a one. Ask Jules, huh, Jules? Not a one. Well, once she got dumped off once, but we got her back.
Good deal.
And I didn't miss a beat. I kept doing my jewelry while she was gone. I'm bad.
That's so good. Awesome, June. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Yes. Angie, you have your hand up?
Hey everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to introduce my niece, Liz Luna. She's on the Zoom. This is
yes, I saw that.
First time on Zoom today, and so she got to hear Patricia Shevlin speak. I want to give her a shout out. I'm really excited that she has decided to join our team, and she is gonna rock her shows, let me tell you. So
yes, Liz, yes.
If you can unmute yourself, say hi to everybody. This is the team. Oh, look at it. She's showing her picture. There she is. There's my beautiful baby Liz. I'm a proud auntie right here. So
why not? Of course.
You guys give her some good tips and wisdom. So Liz, Marissa Clarke, she's our upline, and Chris is part of Marissa's downline, and you'll kind of get familiar, like just the rest of us are. You'll really get familiar on how everybody kind of fits together, but we are all a big, huge family. Liz has worked for Amazon and has been like in a management position. So she's kind of like a Patricia Shevlin, where she's, you know, had that higher.
You didn't work at Oak 4, did you?
Oh, no. Oh.
My wife worked at Oak 4, and she's glad she's here. So
yes, yeah, Liz is gonna be glad she's here too. Unmute yourself, Liz, if you could hear us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Liz Luna. Yes, I did work at Oak 4 back in 2006 when I started with the company that I was in. Like my aunt said, I'm happy to be here. This is all new to me, but I'm excited for this journey. I was with Amazon for about 7 years. I was in an operations position. But due to, COVID, I do have my children. So I ended up quitting to stay home with them. So this is a great opportunity. I've been looking up to my aunt, and she loves it. So she motivated me, and I said, I'm going to jump in. So I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, and let me tell you, Liz, there's no holds barred here. You can reach the sky just as well as anybody else can. You can reach those levels. You can pass your aunt. This company is so wide open for you. I mean, who doesn't want to pass up their aunt, right?
I know.
But we are so glad to have you.
All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you, guys.
Now, real quick before you go, though, do you have anyone or any question that like all of us together can answer that you just might be like, man, let me get this out there?
Honestly, not right now. I do not. However, I will be reaching out if I do, and I know if I do, I will reach out. At this point, I do not have any questions, though. I'm kind of just jumping in, going over stuff. I've been actually looking at, my aunt has been tagging me in a bunch of lives and a bunch of training stuff. So I've been jumping in and looking on YouTube as well. So it's kind of a good guide. And then I got my package in. So I'm excited about that. And I'm so happy.
Your first live.
Yeah. So we're jumping in, and we're going to go ahead and go for it.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad.
Welcome, Miss Liz. Super excited to have you. I know that you are in great hands. There's so many wonderful leaders here to guide you in the right direction. I'm your closest elite upline, so feel free to reach out to me, Messenger, or I think I sent you a welcome text, so you can mess out that way as well. We are here to help you succeed. I am a mom, so you already tugged at my mama heart right there when you said with them. I have 5, so it's very important that we do that job. So excited to have you. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Faith, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest to Liz and Angie that for Liz's first live, they do a dual live, and both of them do it at the same time and each show a piece, and that'll kind of help Liz get over any like fears or insecurities about doing her first live, getting over the nervousness of going live for the first time. I know it helped Brandy out with hers when we did it with her, and I think it's just a great way to get started.
I think they're fun anyway.
I love it. Yeah, thank you. That's a great suggestion, and I'm down for it. Liz knows, and so we can plan that out, sweetie.
And we actually did Blingpox Wars when we did Brandy's first live, and got everybody into seeing who could get the most amount of Blingpox on their face, either Brandy or us. And it was so much fun. A lot of her customers bought from us and our customers bought from her, just so that way they could put Blingpox on them. So that's kind of another good way to go, is the Blingpox Wars.
And Liz, you'll understand what Blingpox are. I'm sure your aunt will describe it to you, but real quickly, it's like having small little stickers that you put on your face every time someone purchases. So it's like chicken pox, but for bling.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Awesome. Well, guys, we are at the last 10 minutes of the live here. So I want to go ahead and offer one more, another question or so. But one thing I want to make sure that you're all aware is yesterday we talked about having the Telegram app. And if you have the Telegram app, pinned in the comments in the announcements in both KoB and Elite Blingers is a link for you to join the channel for the Zooms. If you join the channel for the Zooms, we will be sharing the links directly to that, and you will be notified of every Zoom that comes out. I will eventually stop sharing them to the messengers just because of time consumption. So I would encourage anybody and everybody that wants to be notified of these Zooms to please get on that channel, and so that I can notify you there. We're having a lot of people joining, and we have a lot of people in this team, and so sharing them in all those places gets kind of tasking at times, when you have to make sure that you shared it to 15-20 groups to make sure that everybody's notified. So if we can notify all from that one direct spot, it would make life a whole lot easier. So I don't see any hands coming up. Nobody has any more questions. I hope you guys take the knowledge that she gave you today and put it to use. Felicia, you have your hand up now. Go ahead and do that. But Michelle Egan is live with the Rally Wheel Part 2, and I don't want anybody to miss that. So make sure that after this, we're going to go ahead and probably end the live, and so that you guys can go to the Rally Wheel and bling it on. Go ahead, Felicia.
Okay, I wanted to say thank you everyone for being on there, and thank you, Chris, for having this live show with I think her name is Liz.
No,
I'm
Patricia.
not sure what's her name. Patricia, that's what I thought. I've kind of been late, a little late, but I missed it quite a bit, but I could always watch the replay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just been sitting here trying to finish up my stuff, and I saw Michelle Bennett, Eager, and Kelly. Also, they both put up the spin a reel thing.
Yeah, they're doing that right now. That's why we're going to end this.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool how they did that, because of the way to get the donation in there, you have to go to Paparazzi in your back office to donate right there. But there is one thing I wanted to ask you. I'm trying to hurry up on this thing. Paparazzi had updated their Facebook. Okay. There is an issue now that they're not going to, they're trying to put a stop into everybody doing the live, because due to now that, you know, we can't see people coming up and trying to do the response and stuff. Well, they sent me to another page, and you have to sign in there in order to do your live show and be able to get the people questions and answers and all that. I don't know what to deal with that.
I have no
trying to
idea
figure
what
that
you're
one out.
talking about. Paparazzi Accessories has one Facebook page, and they have not changed it. If you got to get something from anywhere else that's not the correct Paparazzi Accessories page, then it's probably someone trying to get your account, or it's somebody that's probably trying to do something malicious. Go on Facebook and search Paparazzi Accessories, and you'll see the correct page. Any other page, I would not trust it. Okay.
Yeah, because I just got my credit card got scammed of $480. Was trying to get out of there, and the bank caught it just on time. And so all my card, my Square account, everything's locked. So
yeah, so I would disregard that, Felicia, and definitely if anybody ever gives you a link that requires you to sign in, don't trust it. Don't trust it. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end for today. Patricia went ahead and did our last prayer. So instead of doing another prayer for you guys now, we're just going to go ahead and end the Zoom. But I do encourage you guys to go to Bling It On right now and watch the Rally Wheel, find out what that's about, and get involved. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Friday show. Have a great day.